Good morning, everybody. It's Javier, and I'm excited to be with you here today to share with you information that can help elevate your overall success, especially with all that's coming. And one of the things that you always have to do, of course, is you have to keep your ear close to the ground in regards to what's happening in the economy, in the country, and so on. And who can tell me one of the things that's happening right now do you think might be very important for all of us to know? Anybody from a business perspective?
The Secure Act 2.0, they're looking at passing that.
What's that?
The Secure Act 2.0.
Oh, perfect. That's really good. True. Okay, perfect. What else? Anybody? Because I'm telling you right now, if you're looking to do business going into the rest of 2022, 23 for the next couple of years, the way we did it before, you're going to get left behind. But that's just the way it is. I feel like I'm having this conversation from 2007 when I was trying to explain to everybody all that was going on. But anyways, in the spirit of time, if you guys don't want to participate, I'm just going to go ahead and move forward at a brisk pace. And, we've got some serious economic headwinds coming our way. We're looking at a recession. We're looking at rising rates, which helps us with whether it be the way that we pay our clients for their annuities and so on. So it's a good thing, but it could also be a bad thing because of the mindset of the people out there that are just going to have a lot of money. You're going to have to address that as you move forward. So I'm not going to hit into it. I need participation. If not, let's just continue with what I am here to talk to you about. And what I'm going to talk to you about today is going to be Flowcode part number 2. We're just going to go over some quick tips in regards to the leveraging of the Flowcode. It has been working really, really good. And I appreciate everybody's feedback as it relates to how you've been implementing this. And I can't tell you how proud I am of how you partnered it up with Canva as well. So anyways, let's start with the first things first. Baker to Vegas is this weekend that I know of. Kathy Drugar is going to be working the event as well. And so this is your opportunity to really understand that my way of thinking when it comes to marketing is you got to market from big event to big event, Baker Vegas being one of them, and all the other things that happen throughout the year. I was actually at an event yesterday, Saturday, with a personal coach that I think I'm going to bring on board as a guest one of these days to see if anything that he talks about intrigues you to really propel your business forward. Because I'm telling you right now, the old us is not going to get us to where we need to be. And also that's why a lot of people are just stuck. The number one thing I hear from people is I'm frustrated. My business is not growing. I'm not making money. And that is because many a times we as individuals are not growing. And so anyways, that's something you have to address. But Baker to Vegas is this weekend. It's a big, big event. It's the event. I heard it on the news a couple of times. And this is what's going to be happening here from Baker all the way to Vegas. I want to also start by recognizing our top producers for March of 2022 and send some kudos out to everybody that did their part to make the month a very good month. But I especially want to congratulate our number 4 personal producer, Kathy Drugar, which with 9 personal applications. So congratulations to her. Our number 3 personal producer was Mr. Alan Guerra with 9 personal applications. Our number 2 personal producer, Daniela Dubac, with 13 pieces of business, and our number 1 personal producer, Knock Lee, came in with 18, which is just simply incredible. So if you're not their orbit, if you would, you got to ask yourself why not, and you have to make a change as quickly as possible. And so one of the things that I want to just congratulate all of them and everybody that did their part is because they really do one thing, and that is validate the fact that there is business to be had. And so they're not lucky. They're just really committed to the cause, if you would, and their cause especially. And so I don't know. I thought I saw Knock. I don't know if Knock is here, but I wanted to take a moment to recognize her and see if she's very quiet, but maybe she has any words to share with us. Knock, are you on? Oh, I thought I saw her, but. All right, maybe she's not, maybe she's a little shy, and that's okay. But I just wanted to congratulate her publicly for a job well done. Now, a common denominator, and one of the things that you have to always go by, remember we gave you guys a great book, I hope you read it, about the common denominator of winners. And all these people here are definitely winners because they're doing something that most people should be doing, want to do, but for whatever reason they're not maybe doing it. And that's something that you have to ask yourself. What's the common denominator of these winners? And what's one of the things that you think that these 4 people that were just named have in common? Anybody? 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 Come on. I mean, especially if you're not one of those top 4, you should be aiming. I mean, I'm assuming you're here to make money. You're here to help people and so on. The only thing that matters is production. Nothing else that matters here. Nothing. The production. Being licensed is no fun if it's costing you. A life insurance license is supposed to help you make money, not supposed to cost you money. Every year, people bail out of their licenses because they're just simply not making money in an entire year that justifies the whopping $200 to renew it. And that's pretty sad because it is possible, and these good people are just simply proving to us that it is possible here at First Financial Security. So anybody, what are some of the common denominators? Anybody that these great people have? And they're pretty different from each other in every sense of the word, but what's the denominators we can take away? That's what I look for. What is it that makes them who they are and gives them? Anybody? Come on.
They follow the system.
Okay, first of all, they do have a system, and I know how all of them have, quote, a system. Okay, that's really, really good. Come on, anyway, nobody else wants to win. Nobody else wants to sell a thing. Everybody's here to literally generate 1, maybe 2 apps a month. And if that's what you're looking for and you're doing it, bless your heart. But don't come tell me that you're looking to make 100,000, 200,000 or more. You're not answering up, because then you are part of the problem in your own world. So please, somebody else.
Motivation.
And motivation is key, but there's a saying that I believe in that I learned a long time ago, and that is that discipline starts when motivation wears off. A lot of people are very motivated in First Financial Security Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, but then it just wanes. But yeah, motivation is definitely a key. And the question that I have for you is, can you sustain it? Once we get off a webinar, whatever, can you keep it? And for most people, the answer is no. Let's just be very honest. The answer is no. That's good. Motivation is a very important one. Somebody else.
Discipline. Oops.
Discipline is really, really good because, like I said, once the motivation wears off, then if I do go out there and prospect, if I do go out there and buy appointments, if I do go out there and talk to police, if I go out there and talk to pastors, if I go out there and conduct, let's just say, church presentations or whatever the case may be, that takes discipline. Because as much as, if you look at Knock, I don't know if she's on or not, but she got 18 yeses, obviously, that made it all the way to the application. I guarantee you she had more than 18 consultations. She didn't go out there. She's not that good, but she had 18 consultations, appointments, and she got 18 yeses, and that was a good month. I don't know if she's here, but I guarantee you that the number of people she met with in the month of March was higher than 18. So that means what? A bunch of people told her no. But yeah, she kept going. Anybody else?
Yeah, marketing niche.
What is
She's
it?
consistent.
Okay, so the system, obviously we do have a system here that when we follow it, makes it much more duplicatable, allows us to build a team. I think Knock is doing a tremendous job, but what's really nice about Knock is that she's also part of Daniela's team. And that's pretty cool because now Daniela is not just herself going at it, but yet she has a teammate that will also benefit her as well as a team leader. And so again, Daniela got 13, but yet her teammate got 18. And technically, if you add those up, and those are part of her super base team as well. So yes, what else? Come on, guys, please. We're gonna knock it off. We're gonna just end it. If you're just here to
Okay, so they have
Consistency.
What is it?
They have a marketing niche, and
Okay, they have a marketing niche. Now, if they have a marketing niche, can we copy the marketing niche?
Yeah.
How easily would that be?
So duplication.
Duplication, like I said, Daniela Knox is part of her team. She trained her, she recruited her, she mentored her at least. And so she's benefiting from that. And so of all the things that they're doing, what percentage of those things do you think we can do as well? What percentage?
100.
Why are we 100, right? And then the question that nobody wants to ask, nobody wants to answer is what? Why aren't we?
The proper invitation.
Why aren't we? Why would you say we are not doing it? Anybody? Come on, spit it out, guys. We got a lot of stuff to go through.
Let other things get in the way. We don't make it a priority.
There you go. That's the word. Don't ever buy the lie that we're too busy. Don't ever buy that lie unless you're in the market for one. Then yes, they're always on sale, meaning free. So their priorities are straight. Their priorities are straight in regards to that. And I want to say that they're straight, but they have their priorities in order. I cannot say that I really need to make money this coming month, but I'm not going to work. That doesn't, there's no congruency there. There must be congruency between what we're asking for and what we're doing. So that's one thing. What else? Why not?
I don't know if anybody answered, but I'll just say it. It's persistency. I mean, I'm
Okay.
very persistent. I
You know-
I literally follow up through people until they tell me don't call me no more.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. Because I always tell people the moment I get on your nerves, just do me a favor. Just let me know you're tapping out, and I promise you. And as a matter of fact, you guys get my text messages. I don't mind investing money, but I hate wasting money. And so I'm sending a text message every once in a while saying, if you're no longer interested in FFS, please unsubscribe from this list, because every text I sent out costs me money, and I'd rather take that money and spend it in something more productive than just burning it. If I'm texting 400 people a month, before the webinar, and 18, whatever the hell people are on right now, 25 people, where the hell are the rest of the people? Why don't they just simply opt out? Why don't they just bail the hell out? I don't understand that. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of money, because of the simple fact that I'm not going to bug you. I have nothing to bug people with. On the contrary, I try to help you, but you got to help yourself. And so we talked about priorities. We're talking about persistency. We talked about marketing. And so again, why don't we do it? Why? And that's something you have to answer for yourself. But what I will tell you, with the kind of times that we're going into, we're going to start losing more agents, and that's okay with me, because we're going to lose the ones that were never really here. And that's okay, which allows us to focus more and roll out more tools to those that are at least trying. And that brings me to my last thing. They had something in common that some of us cannot even say we did. They tried this past month. They really, really tried. And I'm not talking about trying in our mind. I'm talking about trying in the real world. And that's just how simple it is. And so for me, I believe in collapsing timeframes, compressing activities, do as much as you possibly can. I was with a business partner of mine at Topgolf. I invited another new business partner that I have there as well, but I had his policy to deliver. So I said, why the hell not deliver it while I'm there? I delivered to him in such a way and in such a fashion and in such a place that he was literally blown away by the whole event where we were, that the chances of him canceling that policy is slim to none, and slim is on vacation. So for those of you that are getting chargebacks, and I see them every single Friday and Tuesday that we're getting hit with them, you're going to have to learn the art of the delivery, the environment of the delivery, how you deliver it, what you tell them, to make sure that they keep the policy as well. Any other final thoughts about these either common denominators that these great people have? We all agree that what they do, 100% of us can do 100% of that, if we really, really want to, and we really get around to actually doing it. Any last questions, comments, concerns about this part? If not, I'm going to move on to the second part of this, and that is Dream Destination. Next Saturday, we're going to go ahead and be departing for a Dream Destination, which is a hell of a cruise. It's a brand new ship, got built only 2 years ago. Right at the beginning of the pandemic is when it launched, and then they got shut down after just 2 cruises. So we're still going to be on a literally brand new ship. And again, the common denominator is that 3 out of those 4 people you just saw they make the trip because of that persistency, consistency, and so on. So I want to congratulate everybody that qualified for the trip that's going to be joining us on this great event as well. And let's just get right into the training so we can go about our weekend. And I just wanted to follow up a little bit on the Flowcode, making it kind of like a Flowcode part 2. We talked about Flowcode Canva. I'm not going to get into the Canva because I just want to follow up on some good principles. Remember, to increase your sales and income, you don't need more leads. You just need to close more of the ones you already have. And we are already seeing the success rate of appointments going up, the success rates of people setting appointments by leveraging the power of Flowcode. And who can tell me what are some of the advantages? Anybody, of Flowcode? Anybody that's using it. If you're not using it, I don't want to really hear from you guys, just for those that are using it. Anybody, which will probably explain a lot. But anyways, come on, anybody.
You can get your messaging across very simple.
Okay, very simple. That's really good. What else? Flowcode. Anybody?
It's just the ease for the person to be able to go to the site or the link that you're trying to get them to, direct them to.
Perfect. It takes them directly to it. Okay. Anybody else? And let's just even be more specific. If you guys hear any noise, I got like 5 people on my roof scraping the hell out of it. They're replacing my roof because they're going to become installing solar. So my roof was kind of so-so, and because the panels are going to be up there for at least 25 years, might as well replace the roof first. So I'm so sorry, but they're up there scraping the old shingles off right now as we speak. So I apologize for the background noise or the barking dogs that are going crazy. Let me ask you more specific. Great answers. What are some of the big advantages over, let's just say, Flowcode versus a typical QR code? Anybody, just between the two. Anybody? Come on, marketers. You got to be thinking like a marketer, right? What? Anybody?
Looks better for one.
First, very aesthetically more pleasing than those ugly, blocky QR codes. That screams, for me, the early 2000s. You know, when I see somebody throw up a QR code, they just have no clue, or their marketing person has no clue what the hell they're doing. What else? Something else.
You can design it. You can put a little, design or branding or something inside the flow code.
That's pretty cool. That's really, really, in other words, you can customize it.
Customize it, yes.
Perfect. That's really good because you want to brand yourself, your message, or your brand. Next, what else? It's another one. I'm waiting for somebody that I know for a fact. Anthony knows. I know for a fact. Who else did I was with that had it? Oh, Michael knows. Anybody? I'm waiting for something really big. Come on.
It gives you statistics.
First of all, the numbers is where it's at. You got to understand that if you tell me I have a QR code, I'm marketing the hell out of it. First thing I would tell you is let's log into your let's log into your Flowcode account. So let's take a look at the analytics behind it. And I'll be like, look, only 2 people have scanned it. That was you when you were testing it. So we got to get it out more. We got to change your approach. Anybody else? On a side note, like I told you, I was at an event supporting one of our agents on at an event for a personal coach. And I thought he was really good. I wasn't there for the coaching. I was there because this person had a booth and I was helping him. And they gave me the mic to kind of give him a 3-minute spill. And so anyway, that's what I was there for. But I made a lot of great contact from different technology people that I'm going to be sending to those of you that are in search of it. Anything from marketing to text messages, email. I mean, I was really impressed by the setup. And so I'm asking the coach himself to come on board and give him the floor for free. I'm not asking for anything because I think what some of you need to get away from the person that's keeping you from really getting to where you can get to, and that is yourself. You're in a place that you've been for a week, for a month, for a year, God forbid, 2-3 years of quote trying, of really needing it, of really wanting it, of really doing it, and it's just not happening. It's time to, and I can't be that person. One thing I used to do it, and I just can't do it. It's too time consuming when it's done the right way. And for me, I can't do that. But I really like this guy's approach. The feedback's incredible. I was there with Rosie. Some of you might know Rosie Rodriguez. No relationship to me, but she's, it's just an incredible person. And it was people that sell life insurance, real estate agents. They had just business owners trying to elevate their success. And so it's not any one industry, but it's kind of like me. I'm a marketer. I'm not a life insurance agent. I'm not this, I'm not that. I'm a marketer. And that's what I do. And I got the numbers to prove that I market. And now that I do market in the life insurance industry, that's a different thing, but I'm not a life agent. I'm a marketer. And so that's what you have to be thinking. And then that's one thing he was emphasizing to everybody. As a matter of fact, if you go to his website, I shouldn't give it to you. But anyways, he's got good stuff there. But anyways, I'll let you know if he can make it on. I told him that he could be our guest for free. There's no way in hell I'm going to pay him. And so he said, yep, that he would do it. Give us 15 minutes. And I think that it would definitely help some of you with what you need, the accountability, the planning, and everything else that you're lacking. You have everything within you that you need already, but you got to let your inner, and I'm going to share with you one quote that I stole from him right now. And so anyways, we're going to talk about best practices for Flowcode. I'm still waiting for the best answer though, for why Flowcode versus a QR code. There's one key thing, and I'm so shocked. I think Anthony LeBlanc should know. Michael Johnson should know. One thing.
They don't expire.
Well, that's a very big one. Massive one. They don't expire, especially if you're going to invest in printing stuff up. Now, I would never print up a banner. I would never print up a flyer. I would never print up a postcard with a QR code on it for a lot of different reasons. One of them is they expire. You're right. But the biggest one, so just kind of use your noodle here and picture yourself at a booth and Baker to Vegas. and I have a big banner right behind me, beautiful backdrop. We actually have new backdrops coming, which by the way, nobody can ask me for because I'm not letting anybody borrow anything anymore. The only person that I let borrow my stuff is Kathy. I know she's going to bring it back to me, but we have 4 sets of what we call street marketing kits, and 3 disappeared. And everybody swore, you know, they were going to bring it back, but I know Kathy's going to bring it back, but bring regards to that. So the new ones that we have are big backdrops. I mean, like a frame backdrop. It's just incredible. It comes with a banner for the actual table. It comes with the banner for the side of you. It comes with the throw and the flow code. So I would never do all that with a QR code for the simple fact that a QR code leads you to what? When you scan a QR code, where will it lead you? Where will it lead you? Anybody? Where will it lead the person that scans it? So if I have a big QR code behind me that says, scan this QR code to schedule an appointment, let's just say, right? And I'm with the police department. It'll take them to my police scheduling site. If I have a generic one, better. But if not, it's something specific for teachers, for whatever, right? Now, with the flow code, we'll take you where? Once you print it on something, once it's on paper, on the canvas and something, where will it take people to? What will it direct them to? Come on, come on. Come on, somebody. Somebody, guys, we talked about this in great detail. Come on, what will it take people to? Somebody spit something out for me, please. Just humor me. It's going to take people to wherever I want. What I'm getting at is that once you set up a QR code that sends them to my Calendly for appointment setter for teachers, it will send them forever because I can't change the destination of a QR code. But with the flow code, I can change it at any given time. So if I'm with police officers and they scan it, it's going to take them to my specific police financial review Calendly site. Then I go on to the teachers. And when I go to the teachers, it's going to take them to, I'm going to log into my back office, change the destination. So in other words, you can change the destination after you create the flow code. You cannot do that. Anthony's marketing with postcards, and it's got a beautiful, beautiful flow code in the front. Now, if he wants to change where that flow code directs people to, he can change that at any time without having to reprint a ton of the postcards, which is simply incredible. So anyways, I hope you understand the importance of flow codes. And hopefully, go ahead.
I apologize. I was doing something. I was listening, but I couldn't get to. I was going to say exactly what you said. Also, you can change, like you can add to it. Like one of the flow codes that I did, I realized I wanted another video in there. I added the video in. It's a landing page that I created. So now that's in there too. So you can do all kind of unique stuff with the flow code.
Cool. And I'm just simply saying it's a game changer. I don't know if George is here. George, are you here? He was just mentioning to me he's doing it in a digital format, meaning a lot of the staff meetings right now are via Zoom. And so now you can take the same flow code and throw it up on the screen and let them scan it versus trying to get them a paper appointment card before the webinar. It's not going to work. That's the whole essence of this, is to go digital, make life easier for yourself and everybody else. And most people are like, whoa, that was pretty cool, because it still has a wow factor, looks better than the QR code, and so on and so on. So we're just going to talk about this and we're going to wrap it up. And that is, you got to understand some of the pointers you want to keep in mind is to always make your code larger rather than smaller. Always, it should take a good portion. And I'm not talking, it has to be in of course, it's going to be based on what you're printing it on, but if you're printing it on paper, make it bigger. If you're putting it on the slide, let it take up a good portion of the screen, if you would, just so that it makes it easier for the camera to pick up. Include call to action, and that's what customization. I think it was Reggie that was mentioning it. You can even put it into what's called a template, a little thing that says scan me, scan here, your logo in the middle. Tell them what they're going to do. Scan here to schedule an appointment. Scan here to schedule a police retirement consultation. Whatever you want to do it. And then, of course, be intentional with placement. And what that simply means is that when placing your code onto printed or digital materials, you'll want to ensure that it's in a location when it can easily be seen and scanned. And I'm going to talk about some do's and don'ts in just 1 second. But most importantly, always tested. Always tested.
Do you know about a QR?
I'm sorry.
Flowcode?
I'm sorry. Oh, did you have a question? That was Gene. Okay, maybe not. So
No.
anyway,
No, thank you.
okay, just want to make sure. All right, and so like I said, so you want to do that, but always test it with, I mean, always test it, because the last thing you want to happen, which is very difficult, but if you have a back flow code itself, meaning that the way you print it out or whatever, it's not going to work. And so therefore you want to make sure that the actual flow code is tested, not just by you. Email it to somebody, let them try it out and make sure that it works. Do's and don'ts, like you see it right here, let it stand down. Stand down doesn't necessarily mean it's got to be like the upper left-hand corner where it's just a big old thing. But for what we do, it could. My appointments cards have a big old flow code, and that's all I have. It just simply says scan below for an appointment. That's all either they are or they're not. And if they are going to do it, great. If they're not, that's okay too. If you look on the right-hand side, that one's really, really small. You don't want to do that for the simple fact that when somebody scans it, the last thing you want to do is have them scan something next to it from something else they might have. So keep it as center as possible. And if you have to put it in the lower right, lower left, then that's fine, because you don't want it to be overwhelming and especially distract from your headline, but just keep that in mind. Add a call to action and education. A lot of people still have not seen the flow codes. A lot of people still don't even know how to do QR code scanning. And so let me make sure you let them know, whether it's scan to win, whether it's scan the flow code, open, aim, tap. These templates, by the way, are free when you create your actual flow code. Now, if you're a little more sophisticated, you can, paste it on top of a template already, but you don't need to do that when you go with flow. And also, you can even include, like we said earlier, an actual logo in the middle of the flow code, making it look that much more custom as well. And now we're going to go to don't encourage any posts, edits, blah, blah, blah. Once you have your flow code, don't mess with it. Don't add, like some people have said that they're trying to add their logo afterwards. You're going to break up the flow code. It's not going to work. You got to do it through the actual site in order to do that. Don't put them side by side with other flow codes. I've seen that as well, where people have one for scan, one for this, and scan this for that. When the camera opens up, it's going to have a hard time focusing on the one that you want them to scan. So don't do that. And color is also super important. There's got to be contrast for the camera to pick up the actual flow code, kind of like the one that you see here on the left. It's pretty good. The one with the red X, it's bad. It's not going to have enough contrast. You want to make sure you do that. And then lastly, don't rotate it, meaning just leave it as it is. And the reason I say that is because there are ways for you to capture it and drag it to the left, the right, stretch it. Don't do that. It's going to mess up the QR code itself. And so here's just a few of the places that are using it the right way. Checking it to an event, scanning the ticket itself. I'm not going to get into what you can do with Flowcode. If you missed the webinar, make sure you go to ffsonyoutube.com and go ahead and subscribe to our channel. 3 people this week asked me for something that I just simply ignored. I didn't even tell them no. I just ignored. Don't ever text me or email me saying, hey, can you please send me the link to this? Well, can you please go to our YouTube channel and watch the video and just get it for yourself? I'm not going to stop. I can't stop my day. I used to do that, and it was a complete waste of time. Don't ask somebody to do something for you that you can do yourself. That's just the way I operate. And so again, if you haven't seen the first video, go to ffsonyoutube.com. You'll find our YouTube channel right there. Subscribe to it. Click on the notifications bell, and you'll get notified of new videos once they're uploaded as well. So do that, please. And make sure, by the way, that you always like the videos if you like the video that you see online, so that way the algorithm picks it up and ranks it and all that other good stuff for our FFS teammates. Not for the general public, but there's a lot of people in FFS trying to make it work, figure it out, and it just makes life easier. Even if they're not on our direct team, they're still part of our FFS family as well. And then the last thing I want to talk to you about is this. If you haven't had a chance, I would encourage you to read this book. Why do you think people don't read books anymore? Anybody? Why? Anybody?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not important to people. I mean, I still read books, but
Good. Yeah, good. But one of the things that I will tell you that I know all of our top producers that were on you saw earlier today, another common denominator is that they are really big on personal development. That's one thing I know about them firsthand. whether it be spiritual based, whether it be knowledge based, whether it be just a understanding that they have to learn more today than they knew yesterday to continue to be successful. That's it. But why don't people do it? Anybody?
They're too busy. They're too busy looking at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of yeah, that's true. I mean, I think that's very, that could be a challenge. We're easily distracted. I mean, we are more distracted than a 6-year-old sometimes, and easily distracted to things that don't even benefit us. And so that's true. So I say this not to beat up on anybody, but rather because I'm assuming you guys want to win. And like I said, part of the reason that I am not really myself with everybody is because most people can't handle it. They take it the wrong way. They get butthurt. And I can't stand that crap. I'm just saying, when I want to better myself, I submit myself to somebody that I believe can help me get there. And I tell them, you have carte blanche, let me know what I need to do. You're not going to hurt my feelings. And then they do it. That's the way it should be done. But nowadays, my good God, we got to be so careful. But I'm just simply saying, you're going to have to prioritize. Are you looking to win? Or are you looking to fail? Because if you're not actively working on winning, you are subconsciously getting ready to fail. And what's coming in the economy, what's coming with so many things, like I told you guys years ago, this pandemic thing was really going to put a hurt in a lot of people. But guess what? Like always, the ones that adapted are new and in a new world, and they're thriving in it. I remember a quote I learned a long time ago that said, in times of change, the learners shall inherit the earth, while the learned will find themselves properly equipped to deal with the world that no longer exists. And that's going to happen. I'm telling you right now, mark my words. I was talking to a friend of mine on the mortgage about the mortgage industry, that 5 months ago, 6 months ago, I was having a conversation where he's saying, you know what, you're kind of spooking the people. I think you're, just unnecessarily spooking the people. I go, I'm not trying to spook anybody. I just like to speak my mind. If they don't like what I say, they can just, get off of the webinar or whatever. I mean, I'm not going to change. All right. And I was having a conversation and with the same person just yesterday, and was saying, you know what, I think we're gonna have to rethink this whole thing, because I think it's gonna be a lot worse than most people even thought. And there's in the right, not the writings on the wall. A lot of stuff is gonna be happening. I go, but remember the conversation over 6 months ago? And he's like, no, you were right. And so what I'm saying is that we're having to change. Thankfully, the benefit that's coming is not pretty, but it's going to benefit us, and it's going to be beneficial to those that are prepared for it, while everybody else is going to be left with their head spinning. This is a book I encourage you to read. Failing Forwards, turning mistakes into stepping stones for success. The same things that keep people on the sidelines, meaning that it's why they no longer try, is ironically the same thing that propels others forward. And again, common denominators. What is the common denominator? I subscribe to a thing called BizSum, which is Biz Summaries. That's what it basically stands for. And what they do, I love it when people say, I just don't have the time for a whole book. Well, do you have time for a summary of the damn book? Because all you got to do is read the summary. And the summary usually boils down to, like, the book itself is 209 pages. But if you just get the business summary of it, it literally condenses it to, I think, 11. And it always has the same format for every single book. What is the big idea? What are we talking about here? And you'll see here, Failing Forward tells you how to look at life setbacks and learn from your mistakes. If you haven't failed at anything, it means you haven't really taken a risk at anything. Failures are only as bad as you perceive them to be. Life is much better when you live and try and fail. Living requires failing every now and then. The basic steps to moving on and failing forward are, and it's just right there, realize there's one major difference between average people and achievers. The difference is in how they respond to failure. I will leave it at that, because I'm looking at the top 4 people that were the top producers in our team this past month. You saw their names, and I consider them achievers. And so the question is, what are they doing that I'm not doing? What are they doing that you're not doing? And it's as simple as that, because I can tell you right now, it has nothing, it doesn't have a damn thing to do with their sex, their age, nothing. It's a really good mix of people. It's not even their market. Yeah, some doing it in a digital format. We have some that don't even want to come to a police roll call because they're just so into the virtual, which they learn the power of that, which is a good thing, by the way. And then we got others who are still doing it the old-fashioned way, primarily face-to-face at a church, completely opposite market, completely opposite approach, but they're making it, they're achieving. And so you have to analyze that. Hopefully it can propel you forward instead of holding you back. And so anyways, as you can see here, how simple it is. This is the one page, another page, another page, and it just continues. And then before you know it, that's literally all 200 pages right there. So if what you do after you get up, it's what you do after you get up that counts. Finalize your goals, order your plans, risk failing by taking action, welcome mistakes, advance based on your character, reevaluate your strategy, and so on and so on and so on, that I think everybody here should not just read it, but most importantly, should internalize it, because it will help you. And one of the things that I will tell you, and I keep saying this because we're going to go into some times that is going to give people some very juicy excuses. I mean, we haven't really had much excuse outside of the pandemic because we went digital, but you know, some people are going to get some very juicy excuses as to why hours got cut, I'm not making as much, or whatever the case might be. But you want to make sure you avoid that. Please don't do that, and make sure you go ahead and do that. So if you want a copy of this one right here, all you have to do is basically, before I do that, I want to read one quote to you. I was at an event with the coach, like I told you yesterday, and here's the one thing that I walked away. I was there, call it a vendor. I was just there to speak. It was a 2-minute spills they gave, that were going to give this guy the mic. He asked me to speak for him. I said, that's what I'm there for. I went there, I knocked out. It was really, really good. But then I sat down as I was waiting for my turn, and this guy was good. Like I said, he's a real good coach. I love the fact that he's not a real estate coach or a life insurance coach. He's just a coach, and he gets it. That either you take somebody who can make it work in one industry, you can parachute him or her into a different industry. Guess what? They're going to make it happen again. And you throw them into a completely different industry, and they're going to make it happen again. And if not, the opposite is also very true. And what I mean by that is you got people that you put them in this company, they didn't make it happen. So you know what? It was my stupid upline. So I'm going to go to another company because over there, the leaders are really cool. And they go there and they don't do it again, right? And then from there, I'm going to switch industries, and they do it, and it just doesn't happen again. It just doesn't happen, but it's always somebody else's fault. It's always the company, the industry, or like we're going to go into, it's the timing. How can you expect me to win in a recession? How can I win? And like I said, I'm not here to badmouth anybody. I'm just saying, to each his own, but I avoid those people like the plague, and I think you should too. And so anyways, let me just go ahead and pull this up. Let me just go ahead and give him credit. Let's see. I'm just going to go ahead and his name is David Halpern. That's his name, David Halpern. And so this is what and again, I'm sure he stole it from somewhere else, like we all do. But he mentioned this, and it was pretty cool that I thought. When you know who you are, you will know what to do. A lot of people here know what needs to be done, but how do you do it? Again, it's because he's in the police. It's because they are in the schools. It's because they work the churches, and it's easier in the churches. It's because they know people there. It's because this, it's because that. And when we have that desire to look outside of ourselves, that just simply tells us we don't even know who we are. And so if you really, really, really want to win, and then it brings me right back to personal development. Understand that success in First Financial Security has nothing to do with life insurance. It has everything to do with you. And if you don't know who you are never going to know what to do. And you might know the mechanics of what needs to be done, but because you don't know who you are, it's going to be impossible. And I hate giving false hope to people. But at the same time, I like to give real hope. And everybody here has every single thing you need to succeed here at First Financial Security, as long as you make sure you know who you are. Because once you know who you are, you will know, I guarantee you, what to do. And you're more likely to do it. So if you want a copy of the business summary, if you want the whole book, go to Amazon. But if you want the business summary, guess what? Just scan the QR code that you see here. Please don't ask me for the link. Please don't tell me your phone camera doesn't work. Then wait for the video to be uploaded and go borrow somebody else's phone and scan it there. But I'm not going to send it to anybody. And then lastly, I just want to remind everybody that we do have the convention. FFS Convention registration is open. And again, here we go back to the those that will, those that won't. Those that will have already registered for the convention because there's no doubt in their mind that they are going to attend. Whereas on the other side, I don't know what my work schedule is like that weekend, so I have to wait. Well, I'm telling you right now that more than likely the chances of you going are very, very low. And so therefore, if you haven't registered for the convention, I'll go ahead and next Saturday, because next Saturday is going to be our final Saturday of webinars before we go to Europe. And no, we're not going to do it. We're in Europe. So next Saturday is important. I have a surprise for you, but I'm also want to just give the credit to the people that have registered already. And hopefully your name is on that list. If not, bam, there's another common denominator that you're missing out on. And that relates directly to belief or lack of belief. Because I'm telling you, if I told you that by going to the convention, you're going to get a $10,000 check on your way out, everybody would be registered. And you're stepping over literally dollars to pick up a penny because you could be getting a lot more money in the form of commissions. This coming Tuesday is a very, very good Tuesday payday wise for our team. So I want to congratulate everybody. I'm not going to go into amounts or people, but it's a very, very good Tuesday. I think it's a great send off for everybody going off to Europe on the cruise as well. What I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you guys to see if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns before we wrap it up. Any thoughts from anybody? Anybody? Do you find value in live webinars, or do you think could you guys make it with just simply a recorded one? I'm trying to get more interaction, but I get as much interaction when I'm speaking to myself sometimes. And so that's why I was thinking about just switching it to what's called a YouTube Premiere, where you still get the text message. You click on the ffswebinar.com, and it basically brings you to the YouTube channel where it debuts the training for that particular week. I mean, maybe, I have no clue. I just want to make sure it's something that people receive a value, because if not, for whatever reason, then like I said, I'd rather do it live personally, but if not, we can just go to the recorded format, because the whole difference between the recorded one and this is your ability to interact and talk and ask questions. Any questions, comments, concerns before we wrap it up?
Javier, I wanted to just say I would prefer the live one, but I mean, I think it's just better to be able to interact with the team since we don't have our team meetings anymore.
That's true. We don't have any live, so this is live, but I think we should at least interact is what I'm saying.
Right. All. Yeah, I mean, I just think if it's important to you. So right now, while I'm on this webinar, I'm actually right out when I get off, I'm going to be leaving to go to Vegas, but it was important enough for me to show up today. So I think for those that will, it will be. And for those that won't, it won't be.
Got it. All right. Perfect. All right. Well, any other thoughts, questions, comments, concerns before we wrap it up? Anybody? If not, I just want to say thank you for all that you do. And as always, please don't take anything I say the wrong way. And no, I'm not speaking about you. Because everybody, every once in a while, send me a text. I know it was me you're talking about. No, I don't. No, I wasn't. It's just that sometimes the shoe has a universal size, a universal fit. And it fits us all, starting with myself, a lot that we can all collectively be doing. But like I said, I'm not a fake person. Everybody here, there's not a disrespectful bone in my body. I just really want you to win more than you want to win. And I know how close you are to winning if you just take the final steps. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. Until then, have a great one. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye.